let's see what Guillermo del Toro does with Frankenstein. And I gotta say, I enjoy what he does. I've always been a fan. His Pinocchio was creepy, but I think it had some issues. Like there were an issue I found with this. Like, why'd you do this when you could have done this at the very beginning? Just one of those things. But yeah, Frankenstein. CGI is not great.
Maker told his tale. And I will tell you mine.
Wait, if this is the tale of the monster, then why is it called Frankenstein? Hello? Frankenstein's the creator.
I remember pieces. Memories of different men. Then I saw it. Your name. Victor Frankenstein. To award me love, then I will indulge in rage. Now, run.
Good. That looks good. Of course, I've been a fan of Guillermo del Toro for quite a while. And I think it's on Netflix. Well, it's going to be on Netflix. It said November 17th? No, November 7th. So next month. In a few days, really. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because it's a fantasy story. Like, people say that this is the first, like, horror fantasy ever. Like, if you go back to, like, some of the stories, like, this is one of the first fantasy horrors. You're creating, sci-fi at the time. It was considered a sci-fi at the time because you're using technology of the day to try and create something that doesn't exist. Kind of like what people do now with sci-fi. You're using technology of the day to make a world that doesn't exist. Yeah, it was considered not a fantasy. It was a sci-fi. It was one of the original sci-fis. Yeah. Of course, now it's considered a fantasy because it's like, oh, that the technology, no, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's funny how it times change. Times change. That looks good, though. I still think I'm more interested in watching The Bride because that's just an interesting. You have the monster creating the bride or helping create the bride, and it's just what he's willing to do for her, and it just reminds me of One Piece in The Bride. It really does. It reminds me of Shatri. Was that her name? Hogbak's secretary, which he had killed and then brought back to life, which is basically the same thing. Falls down the stairs and is brought back to life. Same story. Which is honestly the main reason I think I want to see it, because I see that and I'm like, huh, this is Hogbak. Hogbak created Shatri. I think that's her name. I can't remember her name entirely, but yeah. Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, wait on that.